There are books that pass, and there are books that remain. Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl belongs to the second category, those that cut through us, take us apart, and in the end hand us back to ourselves in a new way. Frankl did not write from distant theories, but from the abyss. As a Jewish psychiatrist imprisoned in Nazi concentration camps, he lost everything: family, freedom, safety, future. And it was precisely there, amid horror and despair, that he discovered something no one could take from him: the inner freedom to choose how to respond to suffering. That is the essence of his message. Even when everything is stripped away, one last freedom remains: the freedom to decide what attitude to take toward the inevitable. While some succumbed, others found a reason to go on. Frankl realized that the difference lay in meaning. Those who had a why were capable of bearing almost any how. In the pages of this book, he describes honestly what he saw: the body's degradation, hunger, cold, the constant fear of death. But he also saw gestures of humanity: a piece of bread shared, a word of comfort, a look that still believed. And from these experiences he developed his theory, logotherapy, the psychotherapy of meaning. For Frankl, the human being is not driven only by the pursuit of pleasure, as Freud said, nor only by the will to power, as Adler proposed. What moves us, above all, is the will to meaning, the need to find purpose, to understand the what-for of existence. Even in pain, in failure, in loss, there is something that can be transformed into meaning. That is the book's invitation: to discover meaning in what seems unbearable. Not because suffering is good, but because it can reveal what is essential. Frankl affirms that life never ceases to have meaning, not even in suffering, not even in the face of death. What changes is our capacity to perceive and to respond. When reading Man's Search for Meaning, it's impossible not to ask yourself, and me, where have I placed my sense of meaning? How do I respond when everything slips out of my control? What purpose keeps me standing? The book's impact goes beyond psychology. It speaks to spirituality, ethics, vocation. It is a reading that touches mentors, leaders, therapists, teachers, missionaries, everyone who deals with human suffering and seeks to kindle a spark of hope in another. Frankl reminds us that freedom without responsibility is merely an illusion. True meaning is revealed when we take responsibility for our own life, for our choices, and for the good we can offer. He said, "We should not ask what we expect from life, but what life expects from us." And perhaps that is the most transformative shift the book proposes. The man in search of meaning is not someone who tries to flee pain, but someone who transforms it, who, even amid ruins, decides to answer life with dignity, faith, and purpose. That is why Man's Search for Meaning is not just a book. It is a mirror. It is a map for times of crisis. It is a conversation with the soul. At the end of the reading, something changes. You understand that suffering may be inevitable, but despair does not have to be. And that finding meaning is not a luxury. It is the essence of remaining human. So read it, but read it slowly, underline, reflect, and discover with Viktor Frankl that the meaning of life lies in living for something greater than yourself, even when everything seems lost.